Hey everyone, and welcome to our brand new adventure, Phrasal Verb Power. This series is all about helping you sound more natural, understand native speakers better, and truly master everyday English. Phrasal verbs are super common, but they can be tricky. Don't worry, we're making them easy. Today, we're diving into 5 essential phrasal verbs. Let's power up your English. Our first phrasal verb of today is account for. What does account for mean? This phrasal verb means to explain the reason for something, or to be the cause of something. Think of it like giving an explanation. Let's look at an image to make it clearer. This image shows someone explaining something. It highlights account for. Now, let's look at some sentences to understand it better. The sudden increase in online sales could account for the company's unexpected profit. This means the increase in sales explains the profit. Here's another sentence. Please account for your absence from the meeting yesterday. This means please explain why you were absent. Synonyms: explain, clarify, justify, and be responsible for. Here's a simple way to remember account for. Think of your bank account. You need to account for every penny in your account, meaning, you need to explain where it all went. Let's say this phrase clearly. Please account for it. Say it again. Please account for it. Yes. Give a reason. Our second phrasal verb for today is clamp down on. What does clamp down on mean? This phrasal verb means to take strict action to stop or reduce something undesirable. It implies a firm and determined effort to control. Let's look at an image to make it clearer. This image shows forceful control. It highlights clamp down on. Now, let's look at some sentences to understand it better. The police decided to clamp down on illegal parking in the city center. This means they will take strict measures to stop illegal parking. Here's another sentence. Parents need to clamp down on excessive screen time for their children. This explains the need to strictly control screen time. Synonyms: crack down on, suppress, restrict, and tighten control. Here's a simple way to remember clamp down on. Imagine a physical clamp pressing down firmly. That's exactly what clamp down on means. To firmly stop something. Let's say this phrase clearly. Clamp down on it. Say it again. Clamp down on it. Yes. Take strict action. Our third phrasal verb for today is iron out. What does iron out mean? This phrasal verb means to resolve difficulties, disagreements, or problems. It's about smoothing away complications. Let's look at an image to make it clearer. This image represents smoothing away problems. It highlights iron out. Now, let's look at some sentences to understand it better. We need to meet before the project launch to iron out the final details. This means to resolve any remaining minor issues. Here's another sentence. They spent hours trying to iron out the differences before agreeing on a plan. This explains resolving disagreements to find common ground. Synonyms: resolve, settle, fix, smooth over, and clarify. Here's a simple way to remember iron out. Think about using a clothes iron. You iron out wrinkles to make things smooth. Similarly, you iron out problems to make them smooth and clear. Let's say this phrase clearly. Let's iron out the issues. Say it again. Let's iron out the issues. Yes. Resolve them. Our fourth phrasal verb for today is mull over. What does mull over mean? This phrasal verb means to think about something deeply and carefully over a period of time. It's about contemplating or pondering. Let's look at an image to make it clearer. This image conveys deep thought and contemplation. It highlights mull over. Now, let's look at some sentences to understand it better. I need some time to mull over your proposal before I give you an answer. This means to think carefully about the proposal. Here's another sentence. She likes to mull over difficult decisions before acting on them. This explains the process of deep consideration before making choices. Synonyms: ponder, contemplate, deliberate, consider deeply, and reflect on. Here's a simple way to remember mull over. Imagine a mule standing still and thoughtfully mulling over its next step. It takes its time to think deeply. Let's say this phrase clearly. Mull it over. Say it again. Mull it over. Yes. Think carefully. Our final phrasal verb for today is bring about. What does bring about mean? This phrasal verb means to cause something to happen, to produce as an effect or result. It implies initiating a change or outcome. Let's look at an image to make it clearer. This image shows causing a series of events or changes. It highlights bring about. Now, let's look at some sentences to understand it better. The new regulations are expected to bring about significant improvements in public safety. This means the regulations will cause improvements. Here's another sentence. His passionate speech helped bring about a change in public opinion. This explains how his speech caused a shift in opinion. Synonyms: cause, lead to, result in, produce, generate, and affect. Here's a simple way to remember bring about. You bring a change about. You are the one who actively causes it to come into being. Let's say this phrase with confidence. Bring about change. One more time. Bring about change. Yes. Make it happen. Alright, my awesome English learners. We've now understood all 5 phrasal verbs. Account for, clamp down on, iron out, mull over, and bring about. It's time to see them come to life in a simple story. Listen carefully. Try to spot each phrasal verb. The story is the community project. A group of neighbors decided to organize a community garden. They had to first account for all the available funds and resources. Early on, some members wasted time arguing, so the project leader had to clamp down on unproductive discussions. There were many scheduling conflicts, but they managed to iron out every detail during their weekly meetings. Before making big decisions, they would always mull over all options carefully. Their combined effort and careful planning helped them bring about a beautiful and thriving garden for everyone to enjoy. So, what's the important lesson we learn from the community project? Effective teamwork requires you to account for your resources. Sometimes you need to clamp down on issues. Always be ready to iron out problems. Take time to mull over big decisions. All these actions combined can bring about great success. Alright, my absolute language superstars. And just like that, set one of our Phrasal Verb Power series is complete. You've done an incredible job today. You didn't just learn. You truly got a feel for these essential phrasal verbs. Give yourselves a big pat on the back. Remember, using phrasal verbs will make your English sound so much more natural. Practice using these 5 today. Consistency is your superpower. Thank you so much for bringing your amazing energy and willingness to learn. I'm genuinely excited to see you back here for the very next lesson. We'll continue to unlock even more incredible English expressions together. If you enjoyed this session, please hit that like button. Share it with anyone who loves learning. And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our English adventures. Keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep shining brightly.